Oh, oh, story time! Yay! Okay, so I just started my work Monday. Monday was good. Okay. Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday was something, let me tell you. It was, I wanted to scream. I wanted to pull my hair out. No, I was off Tuesday and Wednesday. So Thursday, Thanksgiving, I was working with this 19-year-old. And, at first it started out copacetic, pretty good, whatnot. And he asked me who I spent my Thanksgiving with. And if I went to my family's, and I said no, because my family has disowned me because of my belief. And he goes, well, what are your belief? And I said, I am a witch. And he goes, I don't believe you're a witch. And he said a word that supposedly was Hebrew or Jewish that meant witchcraft. And if in his mind, if you say that to supposedly a witch, that I guess they were supposed to shy away or something like that. I don't know where he was getting his information. This is a 19-year-old, okay? And he's like, you're not a witch. Da 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 da. He goes, witches conjure demons and blah blah blah, and this is just going on and on and on. This lasted for 4 hours of nonstop preachiness, and I'm like, oh goddess, please shut him up. Just shut him up. Just really shut him up. And I'm trying to be, nice to him. And he started talking about his Christ and his Jesus. And I said, okay, now let's go into the depth of your Christ. He turned water into wine. That is alchemy. That is a form of magic. Made 4 loaves of bread last for a very long time. Magic again. Your Christ was a witch. Oh, he did not like that. But he did not summon demons and blah, 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 blah. And I said no. And, if he really would do the research on demons, the word comes from the name daemon, which is perceived as anything that is angels, gods, which is deities, anything like that. So he just, it was crazy. Okay, so last night I wanted to pull my hair. Tonight comes, and I'm like, oh, I have to deal with this kid again. So he was trying to start an argument about cats. And I said, where are you getting your information at? Because I have a cat. She is a calico cat. And she is the most loving cat in the world. And he's like, I bet you anything, your cat does not like you. She only lets you pet her because you feed her. And I'm like, and he goes, dogs are loyal and da 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 this and that. And I'm like, dude, you've got some serious, massive issues here. And I think he just wanted to argue about something, but to argue over a cat is, my best friend Courtney said it best. It is stupid and redundant. And, this kid, he could have just been doing his job. Just doing his job. Because we were busy and I was swamped. I had people on my side and he had people on his side and he was not there And therefore an error occurred. And I'm like, she's like, do your side. And what I'm thinking, girl, I had people on my side. I had a line, and I was still doing his job. And then he has the audacity to sit down where we make the food. I'm like, why? And I was like, oh, 8 hours of this. I don't know if I could take 8 hours of this. And then there was a customer, and he wanted a certain pack of cigarettes, and I couldn't find it, and he found it, but he would not exchange it for the right ones. And he tried to argue with an elder, and I looked at the guy and I said, I am so sorry about this. Please forgive me. He's like, it's not you. It's people that are being rude. And I'm like, I said, again, I'm sorry. I was being sincere. And lo and behold, this kid, to rectify what he done with being rude, in his little brain, in his little 19-year-old brain, he thinks it's okay to be rude to somebody and say, oh, well, aren't you glad that God shows up evil and something like that? Just rectifying it with his Christ and whatnot. I'm like, okay, dude, I was a PK, and I don't think your God or your Christ was ever rude to anyone like he was. I said, so that does not rectify what you did wrong. And then later on the night, it was close to closing. It was getting really close. And there was a lady, an elder lady. She buys 3 packs of cigarettes, okay? And he has a straw in his mouth, now mind you. And she's telling this child to take the straw out of his mouth, quit chewing on it, because he is going to choke on it. And he flips it over on her and says, those cigarettes are going to kill you. And she's like, hun, take this straw out of your mouth. You're going to choke on it. And I'm thinking, thank the goddess a customer stands up to this kid. Because that is what he needs. He needs to be put in his place. You do not argue with a customer. You do not do anything like that. And you do not be rude to customers, because they're paying you. And Lily, quit, honey. I know. And I'm like, and he just keeps on and on and on and on. And I look at her and I go, good night. And yeah, it was quite interesting, to say the least. And he has, okay, so one of the rules is you don't wear a hat or a cap while you're working. He puts his cap on. What, you can't wait until after you're off to put your cap on? You had to put it on now while you're still at work. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't, this kid tests me so much. I literally want to bend this kid over my knee and spank him. He is my son's age. My son is 19. And the first night, which was last night, that we worked together, he was calling me Mija and bro. And I'm like, dude, I am not a guy, for one, so no. And Second, mija is a term of endearment. I said, you are old enough to be my son. I said, you're 19. You're my son's age. And you're calling me mija? And then he won't even say my name right. He goes, Ann. And I'm like, no. It is either Bria or Annie. It is not Ann. It's not A-N-N-E. It is A-N-N-I-E. And I'm like, yeah, it was something else. I was like, no. This kid needs to be put in his place. My boss calls him a dork, but what he truly is disrespectful to his elders. And in my day and age, if you were even remotely disrespectful to your elders, you got slapped on the head and a dirty look. And you would be lucky if you didn't get your butt busted. We never, ever was rude to our elders. Whatsoever. And I know his mom is trying. And all in all, he is a good kid. In a way. In a way, he is a good kid. It's good that he is strong in his belief. But he needs to keep that belief, his faith, to himself. Because not everybody that goes in that store wants to be preached to. Especially if they're buying beer. Not everybody wants to, even your co-workers don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. You know, that is your belief and that is your faith. Good for you. But keep it to yourself. Because that is respectful. I do not push my belief and my faith at you. And I am respectful of yours. So therefore you need to be respectful of mine. And everybody else's. Because not everyone, it follows the same faith as you. So, and I have to deal with him tomorrow night. Again. It's crazy. And I'm just like, I was done. 10 o'clock couldn't come. And he was so confusing with me. Because I asked him, I said, do I add the drop and what I have in my till? And he said, yes. And then he's like, what are you doing? Da, 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 da. I'm like, I asked you if I add both, and you said yes. So I was like, oh, I was so pissed. I was like, you know. And all night, I've been yelling at this kid. You know, because he had said something, and it can be taken out of context wrongly. And, he said, use your chest. And I'm like, what? And I yelled at him. And I'm like, what did you just say? He said, use your chest. Instead of using your voice, it was that. And I'm like, so I scream at him. And it's like, you hear me now? He's like, yes. I said, okay, because you know what? I can scream louder than this. So, that is my night, and I just wanted to do a video, because I haven't been on YouTube for a very long time, since I started work, and I really should have, to really kind of give y'all an update on things, and I will try to be on here more often. Bye.